Another week means yet another Commanders mock draft right here on the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry. Welcome into the show today where I'm going to be revealing my latest 7-round mock draft for the Washington Commanders, just about a month away from the big day there in Detroit, where a new era of Washington Commanders football will begin with who they take at number 2 overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. Before we get into this latest iteration of the Commanders mock draft here on the channel, we need 500 likes on today's show for us to do a fan-led mock draft on the Commanders Report live show on Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate all of your support. My boss is telling me if we can get to 500 likes, we'll do that fan-led mock. So if you want that, make sure you click that thumbs up icon right now. So number 1, I have gone Drake May for most of my Commanders mock drafts to this point, but this time I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to go with Jayden Daniels, the quarterback out of LSU at number 2 overall. He is the odds-on favorite to be the pick here for the Washington Commanders. And listen, full disclosure, I do have a higher grade on UNC's Drake May. I think that he's better at throwing the ball over the middle of the field, and he sees the middle of the field a lot better than Jayden. I think that the injury concerns with Jayden Daniels being such a skinny guy, taking really big hits on film, scares me quite a bit. And then also, yes, Drake May's film isn't perfect, but neither is Jayden Daniels's, okay? Now, I understand why people like Jayden Daniels. I lay out my reasons for why I like Drake May and Jayden Daniels, both of them, in a video we did earlier, I think last month, where I broke down the scouting reports of both Drake May and Jayden Daniels. I'm going to put the link to that one in the comments and description because that's about a 20-minute video there where I break down the entire scouting report on both guys, their pros, their cons, their pro comps, and their overall grades, and who I think that they are going to be at the National Football League level. So if you want my full take on both of these guys, you can check out that video after we're done today. Now listen, guys, when it comes to Jayden Daniels, yes, I have him slightly lower than Drake May in terms of an overall grade, but when I watch him on film, man, I get it. I get why people want Jayden Daniels, especially with that dynamic rushing ability that you only see from probably 2 other people on the planet right now at the quarterback position. Those guys are Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson, who just won his 2nd MVP in the last several years. Jayden Daniels is like a taller version of Lamar Jackson, and honestly, he's a better prospect than Lamar was when he was coming out of Louisville all those years back. So listen, is kind of the floor a little bit lower with Jayden Daniels? Sure, yes, he's going to have to see the field better over the middle of the field. His accuracy inconsistencies do need to get better as well, and then he needs to stay healthy. But if he can do all those things like Lamar developed out of Louisville with the Baltimore Ravens, this guy could be a perennial MVP candidate and one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. So if the Commanders decide to go with Daniels over May, I won't be too upset whatsoever. Then we get to round 2 here, and I'm going to take the offensive tackle out of Arizona, Jordan Morgan, a left tackle, a little bit undersized. He's not going to be able to play right tackle or anything like that, but the Commanders don't need that. They need somebody that can come in right away and survive on an NFL field as a starting left tackle. All right, Cornelius Lucas is fine, but I want somebody as more of a long-term starter and to really start to build some chemistry with the rest of the offensive line here in Washington. And listen, Jordan Morgan is a little bit limited physically, all right? He's not going to be like an all-pro, perennial all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber guy, all right? He's not going to be Trent Williams or anything like that, all right? He's not a freak, but he's very technically sound. He puts his hands in the right place almost every single time, and he's very solid, all right? Now, if he goes up against some of the more elite of the elite edge rushers, yeah, he's going to take some lumps. But if you're getting a guy like this who's going to be out of the box, a day 1 starting left tackle in the National Football League in round 2, I think that's a hell of a steal. I think in most draft classes, Morgan is a first-round offensive tackle prospect, but because this year's offensive tackle class is so dang deep and talented, Morgan falls to round 2 here, and I'm going to have the Commanders take him here at 36. Now, who's your guy? Let me know down there in the comment section. Which NFL draft prospect do you hope falls to the Washington Commanders at pick number 36 this year? Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jordan Morgan, somebody else, Chop Robinson. Who's the guy that you're hoping falls to the Commanders at pick number 36? Let me know down there in the comment section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. then this is a pick that I've been making here as of late. And Jonah Elliss out of Utah, the edge rusher, is one of my guys. Now, when it comes to what the Commanders need out of an edge rusher that they're going to draft, they need somebody that can survive on all 3 downs. Okay, so they need somebody that can survive against the run on early downs, but also somebody with the pass rushing upside to be a true number 1 edge rusher someday. And I truly believe that Ellis is that type of guy. Now, he's not going to be like Chop Robinson, where he's going to have like an elite first step, incredible speed off the edge, and then bend across the formation to get to the quarterback. That's not Jonah Ellis's game. What Ellis does is that he uses some really nice power and finesse to get to the quarterback, and it really is impressive the amount of moves that he has at his disposal. And he's one of my guys in this year's draft class for sure. If he's there at number 40, I'm definitely thinking about pulling the trigger there if I am the Washington Commanders. Now, coming up here, rounds 3 through 7 for this 7-round Commanders mock draft. But before I get into the rest of my mock this week, make sure you go check out our friends at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Guys, Game Time is perfect for me because I'm somebody that likes to get kind of last-minute tickets. Whether I'm here at the office, I want to go see a concert with my girlfriend, or I want to go see an MLB baseball game or an NBA basketball game, or even hockey, as you can see on the screen right there, a Capitals game. You guys can go do that, and you can get it. And you can get those tickets for the lowest price possible with Game Time's lowest price guarantee, plus flash deals right before game time, guys. So what that means is that the closer you get to game time, the lower the prices get. So not only do you get the lowest price guarantee on any ticketing app out there, but you also get these flash deals, so you save even more money if you get your tickets last minute. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You can see the view from your seat before you buy them. Super easy to use interface, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive at the arena. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, that's one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase today. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, one word, all caps, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Now, this pick here is one of my favorite picks of this mock draft. I'm going to go Kyrie Jackson, corner out of Oregon. And, man, this guy reminds me a lot of Richard Sherman. Now, that is a very high comp for somebody going in round 3. But what these two guys have in common is that they're trash talkers, they're big, they're physical, and they love to play in press coverage. And listen, man, in this system, with the Legion of Boom system that Dan Quinn really perfected there in Seattle all those years back, it was really dependent on a true island-type corner, one-on-one in press man coverage like Richard Sherman to make everything go. And Kyrie Jackson definitely has the skill set, in my opinion. He's super physical in press. He's got long arms, or he's super sticky in coverage. I think that he's one of the better value cornerbacks in this year's NFL draft class. And right now, Pro Football Focus says he can be got in the 3rd round. If he is there, I am absolutely taking them up on that offer. Kyrie Jackson, really good player, long arms, physical, strong corner, great run defender as well. Would love to see him in Dan Quinn's defense moving forward. Then also in round 3 here, we'll go wide receiver to help out Jayden Daniels with a nice screen/short area yak-type wide receiver in Malachi Corley out of Western Kentucky. Now, Malachi is somebody that's being compared to Deebo Samuel a little bit because of his ability to do jet sweeps and screens and, the short yardage, yard after the catch stuff. But really, in terms of his size profile, I think he's not quite on the level of a Deebo. I would put him more in the category of like a Rashee Rice, who, of course, had a stellar rookie season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Perfect fit for that Andy Reid system with lots of short passes close to the line of scrimmage, runaways, and Rashee Rice, bringing that speed to the tail, bringing that yak ability. I think that's exactly what Malachi Corley is going to bring to whatever team drafts him, and getting him here in round 3, I think, is really going to help out Jayden Daniels and give him a safety blanket here in his first couple years in the league. Then in round 3, again, we'll go wide receiver because we need some size in the wide receiver room here. We need a true red zone threat, bigger guy. So we're going to go with 6'3", Brendan Rice, son of Jerry Rice, out of USC with the number 100 overall pick. And listen, guys, you look at what the Commanders' wide receiver room looks like now. It's Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, De'Ami Brown, and if you get Malachi Corley, he's a little bit bigger, but he's not a true downfield threat. Brendan Rice is not the best separator in the world. There's a reason why he's going number 100 in the draft this year, and he's probably going to be around that range. But, man, this guy is a ball winner on the perimeter. He's a good red zone threat. Caleb Williams there at USC really used him a lot in the red zone, and I expect Jayden Daniels to use him in that way a lot. So you're not getting Brendan Rice to be your future number one guy in this rotation, but you're getting him to play a very crucial role in this rotation and kind of complete this wide receiver room for Cliff Kingsbury and Jayden Daniels in their first year together. Now make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Again, if we get to 500 likes, we'll do a fan-led mock draft on the Commanders Report live show this week. So if you want to have a fan-led mock draft and you're tired of hearing me give my takes, you can go ahead right now, click that thumbs up icon, and join us on Thursday afternoon. Then in round 5, okay, you don't have a round 4 pick this year, so you go all the way to round 5, pick number 139, where I'm going to take Christian Boyd, defensive tackle out of UNI. And this guy's one of the more slept-on defensive tackle talents in this year's NFL draft class. He was not invited to the Combine. I thought it was a big snub. And if you look at Boyd on film, man, he absolutely dominates people on film. And you might be saying, Jack, yeah, but he plays at UNI. Who is he really playing? Well, he went to the Shrine Bowl this year in Frisco, Texas. I watched him live, and he was going up against some of the best guards and centers in the NFL draft this year, bar none. And he was dominating these guys, all right? So if you can get him in round 5, and that's where Pro Football Focus projects him to go right now, I think this is absolutely a fantastic piece to add to the rotation with Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. This makes this pass rush here in Washington even scarier moving forward. Now we'll also do another pick here in the trenches. We'll go Zach Zinter, interior offensive lineman for Michigan. Now Zinter probably would have been, I would say, a round 2 pick if he didn't end up getting completely shredded. I believe it was in the Ohio State game this year where he completely broke his tibia and fibia in his leg, and he's not going to be ready to play next season, plain and simply. All right, but you bring in Nick Allegretti, you bring in Michael Dieter this offseason if you're the Commanders. Zinter's going to be somebody that in the future you can probably bank on coming back with a vengeance. Now, is there an opportunity or a chance that he won't be any good in the league and that tibia and fibia fracture completely ruins his NFL playing career? Absolutely. But if you're getting a guy that could be a 10-year starter for you in round 6 and all you have to do is wait a year for him, I think that's absolutely something I'm willing to do here in Washington, especially because the Commanders are rebuilding right now, so they don't necessarily need someone to play right away. So definitely, I'm taking a chance on Zinter here in round 6 if he is available. And now one of my favorite picks, I've taken him, I think, almost just about every single Commanders mock draft that I've done. Garrett Greenfield is my sleeper at the offensive tackle position out of South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. And kind of similar to Christian Boyd, because Greenfield played at South Dakota State, people are going to say this guy's no good, all right? But this guy played left and right tackle with the Jackrabbits in his career, and he was excellent at both. He plays with excellent technique. He absolutely jumped out of the gym and dominated the NFL Combine this year. Honestly, I'd be a little bit surprised if he's here in the 7th, but right now Pro Football Focus doesn't even have him ranked on their big board. So right now, if you're going to let me take Garrett Greenfield, somebody that could be a starting left or right tackle in this league someday in round 7, I'm going to take him every single time, period, all right? So you look at this mock draft haul that we've collected this week. You look at that tackle position, man. You're adding 2 potential starting tackles for the next decade here in Jordan Morgan and Garrett Greenfield. I love that. Of course, you're getting Jayden Daniels as a super high upside quarterback prospect to bring in and kind of usher in the Dan Quinn era here in Washington. Jonah Elliss could be your potential number 1 edge rusher moving forward. Kyrie Jackson could play that Richard Sherman role in this defense led by Joe Witt Jr., the new DC, and of course Dan Quinn, the head coach. You get a couple of really nice receivers in the middle rounds in Malachi Corley and Brendan Rice. Neither of those guys is going to be your number 1 dude, but you already have a number 1 in Terry McLaurin. So you're getting some really nice role players filling certain spots in your wide receiver core, and we know Cliff Kingsbury loves to go to those 4 wide receiver sets, so they will get get used quite a bit. Also, Christian Boyd at defensive tackle to fill out the defensive tackle rotation. And then Zach Zinter, you're going to have to wait a year for him, but I think it's worth it, especially for a rebuilding team and the fact that he could be a 10-year starter for you if he ends up heading into the 2025 season. So let me know down there in the comment section. Grade my mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F. Kind of change things up every single week here, trying to give you guys some analysis on new players every single week. So let me know what you guys think about this mock down there in the comment section. And that'll be it for today's show. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. If you enjoyed our mocks, if you enjoy our draft coverage, we got more positional rankings, draft targets, in-depth scouting reports coming your way leading up to the big day in Detroit. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now. Join us for the Commanders Report live show tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, hail to the Commanders.